Orchard Beach and viewers, hope you're doing well. Man, I hope we're able to gather sooner than later, but still we're in this yellow phase and we're taking things precautiously, and our desires to keep everybody safe. But this is just one way in my little truck talk here to stay connected in the meantime. But I'm in a new place today. Today I had to bring my little sister in again to an appointment, so I'm at the McGee Women's Hospital, sitting in the parking lot. Since I've been sitting here, it had some downpour rain. It's calmed down right now a little bit, but yeah, there was quite, it still looks like it wants to come. But sitting here in the parking lot, and thought I'd share a word that God spoke to me this morning in my reading in 1 Peter. 1 Peter, where he says something, we don't often think of it in terms of the words of the CEV translation, Contemporary English Version I've been reading, where Peter's letter, he says to believers, do all you can to show that God has really selected you and chosen you. Do all you can to show that God has really selected you and chosen you. And I was thinking, that's vastly different, living as a Christian in sort of a desert land of I believe in God, and that's our primary and oftentimes only concern. But that is so different. Peter is saying, I want you to live in a way that shows that God has really chosen you. Live in a way that shows you've been selected. First, think of that. How encouraging, inspiring is that to process that He chose me. He selected me, to be adopted into His family. Some of us have been adopted into other families, or we've been foster parents who adopted. We understand that at a different level, but Peter's reminding his readers, he's reminding me, he's reminding us, you've been chosen, okay? You've been selected. And I want you to live in a way that shows that to others. What does that mean? A little earlier, he says another phrase I think gives insight. He says, do your best to improve your faith. And that's not terminology I've often heard or thought of before about improving your faith. You either have faith or you don't have faith. And he talks about improving your faith, and he says to do that by adding self-control, adding patience, and adding a true devotion to God. And I think that's what he's getting at when he says, show that God really has selected you and God has chosen you. Keep working at improving your faith, your devotion to God, and your self-control and your patience, and acknowledgement of who you are and whose you are in Him. But I just thought I'd drop in real quick again. I hope you hear the words that I feel he's speaking to me today. Troy, show. I want you to show that you know God has selected you and He's chosen you. God bless.